again. Hi, everybody. This is the Village Choir. I'm Michael Jorgensen, their conductor, and we're so glad that all of you are here tonight. This is a great group. Village Choir has a nice history, but we haven't been able to get together for a couple of years, but now we're back together, and we think we have a great program for you this evening. So we're gonna everybody's gonna get in place up here, and then we're going to be ready to begin. We've got a wide variety of music. You've checked out your programs. You've seen that. So we hope there's something for everybody. So I'm gonna make sure I have my score right side up, which I didn't. It was upside down. It's like Victor Borger, remember? So just like Victor Borger. We're pretty close.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to welcome you to the 2022 production of The Sounds of Music. As you know, the Village Choir has not been able to meet for several years, but thanks to these two professional musicians, Bonnie and Michael Jorgensen, we are able to sing together again. We'd like to start off by letting you know just how happy we are to be singing once more. The Sounds of Music would not be complete unless we honor the countries that are represented here. Please join us and sing the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada. The words to O Canada are printed in your bulletin. Please rise. If I ask each one of you, what's your favorite song? I'm sure you would hear many different kinds of songs that you would choose. For me, music stirs my soul. So now we're going to make our own kind of music.
Thank you. Well, we thought since it's been a few years, and this is my first time, my first go-around with the Village Choir as its director, I wanted to find out a little bit more about the great directors who came before me, and there have been two. So we have a great opportunity to find out a little bit more about that, because one of them, the daughter, is in our choir, and that's Anne. Albert Stevens is your dad, right? Yeah, let's hear it. Anne, you remember Albert?
Or Steve, to those of you who knew him well.
For doing well, right.
Yeah, my dad started the Village Choir in '93. He moved here in '91. So, what, can you hear me? It doesn't sound like it. So he, it's on? Okay. All right, I'm as close as I can get. So, the choir had always been part of his life since he was a small boy. He was in a choir, and then he always managed a choir, ran one, wrote music, conducted, put music into 4-part harmony, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. He was always doing something with music. And when he retired and moved from Renfrew, where I was born, to here, and there was no choir, well, he had to start one. My mom's job was always looking after everything else so that my dad could concentrate on choir. And one of the things that I think is kind of cool is that Bonnie's mom was the pianist and played for our dad when dad conducted the choirs. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm really glad you guys took over. So, thank you.
Thank you. And we also have Jackie Payne with us tonight, who has also conducted the Village Choir. Jackie, stand up. She was with the choir, then a few health issues, had to step aside for a few weeks, but we're so glad you're here tonight. And I'd just like to ask you kind of the same thing about Jackie. What got you going with Village Choir? What experience did you have? What particularly good memories do you have about being a part of this choir and conducting it?
Well, Bob and I moved here in 2004, and when we moved down here, I had just retired from a great big job in the town where we came from, and I told Bob, I said, don't tell anybody I do music. So that went on, and then people started finding out that I was a musician. And so they approached me to become part of both the Choraliers and the Village Choir. And I just had so much fun doing that. And so in 2007, when Al was thinking about retiring, he approached me and he said, I think I can talk about it and not get emotional. If I would take his place. And pretty big shoes. And so I spent the summer putting together music, arranging, and so forth, things that I've been doing my whole life. And we started, our first big show was a tribute to Al Stevens. And he was still here. So we incorporated everything that he liked and what I liked and put it together for our first show. Some of my favorite shows that we did, I have 3 that stood out in my mind. We did Remember the 1950s. We even had a car show, and we had 50s games and prizes. And then we did a country show that featured some of our guys, like some of you might remember them, Earl Anderson, Ken Crow, and John Longmore. And those 3 guys made it so fun. You never knew what they were going to do. And the last one that was my really favorite was Broadway. And we all wore, the men wore black tuxes, and the women dressed in evening gowns. And we strutted our stuff. So I had a lot of fun. And I hope Michael and Bonnie will have as much fun as I did.
A lot of fun. It's been 2 sets of big shoes to fill, but I'm having a great first year. It's a great group, and it's wonderful to make music. Before we move on, we want to recognize one more conductor, and she's in the choir, Lorraine Oliver, a Choraliers for over 20 years, about 20 years.
Well, you're making me older than I am.
About 20. You were very young when you guys you were very young. So about 20 years of Choraleers, another wonderful group. I told the choir this, but Ed mentioned Bonnie's mother, Dolores, who played the piano a lot. Some of you may still remember Dolores. And Bob, her husband, Bonnie's dad, and Dolores were looking for a place to live. And they just wandered into this park because it's out on US 27. And whoever was there said, we have 4 choirs who were singing it. We had 4 at that time. And she said, this is where we're going to live. So that was the selling point. And it was for Bonnie and me, too. The wonderful people here and the great music tradition. So we're going to go on and make some more music for you.
Rodgers and Hammerstein are 2 of the greatest writers of musical theater. Now, I'm asking you to choose your favorite song that this duo wrote. Just shout out the name of it.
Sound of Music.
Anybody else?
King and I, that's a good one.
South Pacific.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Well, you don't need to choose. We're going to sing a little medley of songs that were these selections from these Broadway hits. A new musical was presented on Broadway that changed musical theater forever. It was Oklahoma, the first of 9 musicals written by the brilliant team of Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein. From The King and I to Carousel, from The Sound of Music to South Pacific, their shows are known and loved throughout the world. From these shows have come a variety of song classics, songs of every style and emotion, songs that will last forever.
dressed this way, but I could not get Ed to get out of the bathroom so that I could dry my hair. But these men, that's typical of a man, isn't it? They don't want to help you clean. They don't want to help you do the laundry. They don't want to help you cook. I'm tired of it. I'm ready to protest against men. How about it, ladies? Will you join me?
I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair and send him on his way. Don't try to patch it up, tear it up, tear it up, and wash him out, dry him out, push him out, fly him out, cancel him, and let him go. Yeah, sister.
I just thought of something. You know, you plan, but I'm a guy, remember, guys? Yeah. There was supposed to be a whistle solo here, but I never really assigned that to you, did I? Yeah. And you don't really whistle? I think that was part of the things that we had. So, and I said I was going to do it, but does that sound like a whistle? It doesn't sound like a whistle. Can anybody help me? Oh, that works. Bonnie always has a slide whistle just in case we need one.
Keep it in line.
That's right. Sometimes she's a bump like that. All right. Okay, so, all right. So now you have to imitate this, choir. Okay, try it out. Oh, they were ready. Now how about this one? We're going to get together next year. We'll practice. Okay, why don't you have a seat and we'll gather ourselves. Marianne, maybe you can pull us back together here. been listening a while, join us. I bet you know this one. You can become honorary members of the Village Choir.
Storm.